I'm just doing some quick tutorials here in case you missed anything, you're losing anything, you can't find something, you don't remember how to do something. February 7th, and it is snowing up a blue streak outside, so this gives us a chance to just kind of get all this stuff down so you can all make sure you have what you need and you know what you should be looking for in case anything's going wrong. So as I'm sure you've gotten open or you've looked at already, we have InDesign down here. It depends on your machine, what version of InDesign you have, and depends on where to find it on the machine. If we're in class, you know, we'll get you signed in and everything like that. But you want to have InDesign open, and then whatever your internet browser is open. I use Chrome, tends to work the best for what we do for class. So before we do anything in InDesign, we got to get all our files set up just to make sure we have a good space to work in on the back end of things. So we're going to minimize InDesign, minimize our program here. All right, so you have your Gmail open. We're minimize that for a second. Yeah, I'm listening to a little Steve Martin today. You guys can't hear it, but it's pretty good. I recommend it, even if you're not into that kind of stuff. Steve Martin's pretty funny. Okay, so go to your desktop, right-click, new folder. My name is COMM 208 because that's our class. I'm going to name my workspace. This is Brewer the Beagle. He's my Beagle. He's a good guy. And then these are just other files that I have on the desktop that don't affect anything. So once we have that folder created, go back over to our Gmail, and then come over here to this right here, this little number pad up here, click on that, and go to Drive. Now everybody's Drive is going to look different depending on what you've been using, how much you use Google Drive. You guys want to hit on Shared with Me, and then there'll be a folder up here that'll be what I'm looking for. It's not going to work like that on mine, but that's what you guys want to hit. You want it shared with me. On mine, it's under my drive because I made it. And then Springfield College courses, which won't look like this, but this is the folder you're looking for under Shared with Me. News page designs. So Shared with Me, and then you're looking for that folder, News page design. Double click. This should have all our different stuff that we need for the semester. The stuff changes as we go along. But this should be where everything is typically located. So first thing we want to do is go to the Master Pages folder. And then we want to download this file right here, Master Pages INDD. There's a reason why these other folders and files are here. You don't need them. All you need is this one. So you right-click on it, hit download. And then you tell it where to download it. So we want to download it. Oh, sorry, I clicked through that fast. I clicked through the COMM 208 workspace folder. If you have a different name for it, that's fine. And hit save. So there, now you see the little icon there. It's an InDesign page, so we're good. So that's all we need from here for now. We will come back to this when we want to get other materials out of it, though. So I always click back to News Page Design because this is kind of home base. This is where everything's going to live or come from, and it's going to live on our desktop. Sorry. So go back to InDesign, and you can go File Open or Control Open, whichever is easiest for you. I tend, if you don't see my mouse doing things, it's because I use my shortcuts a lot because I just use this program a lot. So I'm going to go to wait, open up our master pages, and it should look pretty familiar. You know, it has all our different headlines and stuff we need. Has our dates and stuff that we need on there. Has our gray bars. Do the W trick quick here. You guys remember the W trick? Just hit the W button and it shows it in the preview mode. My sensitivity settings are a lot lower, so I have a much easier scroll than you guys do. So that might be something you want to change. Let's switch it back to the regular mode. Okay, so this is basically all the pieces that we need for all our different stuff, and it's saved on our desktop right now. So first thing we want to do before we do anything else, go File and Save As, and we're going to save a new file, just so we have a file to work in, and then we have our old master file that's going to hold all our stuff in place for us. So we're just going to name this tutorial, Feb 7. Hit Save. So now we're working in, you'll see the name change up here. Now you should be working in whatever you just renamed your file. as opposed to the master pages file. We want to keep master pages separate and not messed with. So we have all this stuff every time we need that file back. So today I'm just going to walk you through doing a cover here. I'm not sure how long I'll be talking, going back and forth. We might stop and start, but we'll just do a cover that I planned on doing actually today in class. It'll be our Super Bowl cover that we're planning to do in class, and it'll give you a chance to kind of walk you through things and tell you stuff that's good, bad, ugly, and stuff that needs to change. So as we've done a couple of times, we want to take everything here from below this. Let me zoom in. Below this blue line to above this gray and blue line. So you see this gray and blue. So everything above this and everything below this. So let's zoom back out. Give me a little bit better. There we go. So take our black arrow, click and drag, and pull all this stuff off to the right-hand side. So now we have a nice blank page, but we have all our goodies that we're going to need to use on it. So now we're looking good. I've drawn we did a little sketch here that I don't have to show you, but I have a pretty good idea of what my page is going to look like with my materials that I already have, but we'll get into that in just a little bit. So now I have my blank page. I need my stuff to fill my blank page with. So this is how I keep stuff organized, and every newspaper you're going to work at is going to do it differently. But I go back into my COMM workspace folder and I make a folder inside that folder. Call this Super Bowl materials. Since that's the page I'm going to be working on today, I'm going to save all the stuff I'm going to use in the Super Bowl materials folder. So now we go back to our this page here, the news page design page. And this is week 4. So I open up week 4 and we go to hands-on materials. And in this one, I made a couple different versions to give people the options. So we're going to do Super Bowl today. So I'm going to open up the Super Bowl folder. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stories and all these photos. So my plan was to do a 4-story front for this one, as opposed to a 5 that we did last week. 4-story fronts tend to be easier, but they don't have as much information on them. But I think for the example that we're doing here, we're going to do a 4-story front. And with the number of photos on it, I haven't decided on the number of photos yet. Necessarily. I have it written down kind of on my piece of paper, but I haven't really decided yet. So I think we're going to do a 4-story front, variety of photos. So the 4 stories that I want to do are going to be Eagles, foals, persevere in soaring to Super Bowl title. Cripes, I finally got it out. So I right-click on that, and I download it, and it's going to give me the same thing. See, we're in the workspace folder, so we want to go into Super Bowl materials, save it in there. Probably Foles, a Super Bowl MVP, and unlikely folk hero in Philly. That's probably another one I want to do. And it saves that Super Bowl materials folder for me. So hit save. Then we want a Patriots story on there. Sorry that they lost, but they lost. That's how the cookie crumbles. Being a Bills and a Mets fan, you'll learn that very quickly. Not really Bills fan so much, more Mets, but the thing still rings true. So right-click on that, download it, save. Now, I haven't really decided on the 4th story I want so far. I'm probably not going to do this Lane Johnson one because it's really long, because I've looked at it already. But I haven't really decided between the shirts and the celebrations yet. So that's okay. We're going to show you a way to work around that in just a second. And this will kind of be, maybe I'll break the thing up and be like, okay, now you have everything set up. Here's how we're going to do our page kind of thing. But so I'm going to leave the 3rd one up in the air for now. So first things first, I'm going to go through my photos. Okay, Ernst touchdown. I like that one. That's a Foles, so that's going to get a download to our Super Bowl materials folder. Save. T-shirts, it's a cool photo. All right, Foles, there he is. Download that. All right. Foles isn't really in that, but it's Eagles, lineman, fan, Foles. That's a kind of a boring photo, I think. That's not so bad, but no. Fans. That's a Nick Foles photo. We're going to save that. Bill thinking. Bill sad. We're going to use that. Save that. And we're down to our stories. Okay, so we have what, 4 stories, or 4 photos and 3 stories. So it'll give us a start at least. So now all that stuff is saved in our folder. So we go back to our InDesign and we just double check our folder. It's got all the stuff in it. Looking good. Okay. So we're looking pretty good so far. So let's get started on our page. So we're going to pause for just a second. We made a drink of water, and then we'll probably break our videos up here. So let's just give me a second to pause.